And what's up, everybody? It's me, Trustarscreamer, and it is Thursday. It is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what that means? It is time for the FigureAction podcast. That's right. We appreciate every one of you who joins us in the chat. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you are here, please hit that like button. And if you know someone who's bored and wants something else to listen to, tell them about us and have them be the new guy to sub up next week. We appreciate every one of y'all. We appreciate every one of you guys on the replay squad. So if you're not catching us live, still, thank you. You're awesome. You're amazing. And have yourself a fantastic day. I, of course, like I said, am Trustarscreamer, and I am joined with Mike from Junkion Crafts and Builds. We also have TMan978. And yes, the chat is being down here in the window. Yeah, right over there. The chat is down here in the window, so some of you guys get to see everyone. And yes, I know, freaking Michael Madsen, that one hit me right here. We lost some people this week who are quite influential. And then I also saw the news that Keith David is finally getting his freaking star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So we're ending things on a high note. Thank you for that piece of information,
Absolutely.
T.
No problem.
So actually, speaking of T, how you doing, man? What's up? How was your week? Get anything cool for us?
My week was great, and I'm watching on TV. That's what I'm doing over here when I'm not looking directly at you guys.
Is it something good?
Yeah, it's us.
Oh, okay.
I just click like while I'm over here clicking stuff on my remote. But what did I get? I feel like, just in case, I'm going to start with what I might have already had, but I'm not sure. But these two guys, reviews are up for both of them. Now things I know I didn't have Footloose, but now I do. And something about kicking off your shoes, Sunday shoes or something.
Well played.
Skybite.
He looks good.
And this guy. So I gotta review these. I don't know why I didn't do it yet. But well, I know why I didn't do it yet, because I was reviewing these people. And I reviewed this thing. Who also I reviewed this thing, but I combined them together so he wouldn't have an empty space up there. But unfortunately, he does still have that empty leg. So what you gonna do? Scramble City might not be all the way what it used to be, but at least it still exists in some form. So there you go. But Mike, did you get anything?
Well, hello everyone, and hello to everyone in the chat. Awesome seeing everyone on here. I did get a couple things.
Yeah, your mic is definitely low.
It's
Yeah, you heard lower than earlier.
Should I be speaking louder? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right. So yeah, you did get a couple things. I got my 2 hauls in. So I have the one on the muddy one, and then I picked up the tan one. So they're cool. Like UT, I got my footy loose in. So these
Paul
not
still
bad.
owes me mine.
I don't mind them. So this was a random pickup, and I left crypto in elsewhere, but this is the better version than the Target version, because this has the wired cape. But it's kind of neat. It has the different faces and stuff. So just so I can have it next to the Silver Age.
What does he hold in that hand?
He does not hold anything in this hand that he comes with, unless he wants to hold his other face, because this is the one that has the faces that pop off, like so. So he gets that look. Let's see. What did I say? Random. Oh yeah, random. So we talked about Joe Fest last weekend, and I was talking to a couple guys for the Delta 17, and I was like, what's the one figure you got to have to represent. If you were saying, "Hey, this is what represents Delta 17," so they said Rooster, and then he needed to have a bad guy. So my first 1/18th in about 25 years, if that,
Uh-oh.
maybe longer.
That's how it begins.
And nope, I already know that this is not going. Well, I said we got something else to talk about, but this is not my cup of tea. These are too tiny for these hands, and I feel like I could lose everything. But I will say that these definitely are much cooler than the old O-rings that we had when I was a wee lad. I mean, like even the wrists rotate. Not that you can see, but there you go. All right, well, my fingers, trust me, they rotate. Anyway, um, and in a random shocking act, I put a video up for this guy. Uh, this is the DFW exclusive Praetorian Fury.
I do
A
highly
lot of
recommend
people
that video,
are,
folks.
oh, thank you. But this is a very cool figure. It has a boatload of accessories. I did not get any of the variants with the blue flame, and I'm okay with that. But it seemed like it was a good weekend. Wish I could have gone, but we have the dates for next year already. So that is it, because much that was a perfect amount compared to like last couple weeks. But what about you, Dave? What did you get?
Okay, I'll do it. Hey, do me a favor while I'm talking, hit the settings button
Mhm.
and see if you can actually turn the mic up from the settings on your
For
on
me?
StreamYard.
Okay, I
So
will put it up
just
to the
saying, you are
max.
definitely
That's
of the
200
quietest of the
right
three of
there.
us right now.
How's that?
I
That's
mine
the
is
max.
okay. My acquisitions have definitely been a little on the slow side, but stuff is coming in. This has been my latest, which the review went up today, which is my blowtorch,
Mhm.
and he's a pretty nifty figure. Like I'll say in my review, go watch it. I do recommend it. And I'm not going to say is he perfect? No. Is he the best Joe figure of the year? Not really. He's probably the hottest figure of the year because I'm telling bad jokes like that. But overall, I mean, he does what he's supposed to do. So I really do
Cool.
like how they handled his helmet, by the way. That's probably one of my favorite aspects about it. And I love the fact they actually gave him a sidearm. I'm so tired of people having specialized weapons and not having sidearms. I'm looking at my
Right.
freaking heavy duty figure
Totally
for
agree
that.
with you.
Hmm?
I said I absolutely agree with you on that.
So that's pretty, yeah, like I said, it's definitely a little slower on the hauls right now, but I just got a feeling I'm gonna walk into this house and there's just gonna be like boxes waiting for me, sadly
Hmm.
enough.
Yep.
Which I
Did you
can
That's
tell
already
just
pay
how
you,
it
for this
goes,
stuff,
man.
or are they going to charge you all at once?
who knows? I mean, I'm sorry, but dude, Hasbro pissed me off with the cock tease, and yes, I said that because we're not monetized yet. Of the snake armor, saying, "Oh, you're gonna get it on Monday. Now you're
Right.
getting it in September." And listen, like, who hit those buttons? You know, I like to just
Yeah,
It might be
and there
this
are some
month. I wouldn't be shocked.
individuals. There are some individuals that did not get it from overseas that have it in their hands because we have our friend Pixis Designs who is working on a gantry 3D print, and he already has the snake armor and such. So
and people are starting
it's
to get the
Hasbro.
rattlers. Um,
They are.
I'm seeing on my Instagram feeds, my TikToks, whatever people I'm seeing on them, and I'm like, okay. So like I said, that box is going to show up any time here, and
Mm.
there will be a live cast unboxing. I promise you that. So, hello,
Awesome. So
Paul.
that'll be your third
I
one,
hope you're
right?
doing well.
Yeah. So before we get into it, like you normally do, we have to shout out to our members in the chat, starting with, of course, Toy Mafia, honoring those that are no longer with us. We have McClowering popping in. Good evening. Good evening to you, sir. And he's saying we should be getting 2.6 subs per episode. So let's get that cracking, McClowering. Mariano, welcome. Good evening. And what's for dinner? Um, We got Venombite on here. Again, RIP to Michael Madsen. Professor Soundwave is bored. Then you're here with us. You're better now.
Thank you. And thank you for commenting on my video earlier.
There you go. Akateki. Hello, hello. Brother Winston, we missed you last weekend. Just saying.
Yeah, where you at?
And then again, Paul Morales, welcome on. So
Hi, Paul.
you're basically telling me I need to get a new headset. I know. The other headset I had literally fell apart on me, and I will get things figured out and get ready. So if I had to shout, I will shout from the mountaintops.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was like
Winston.
perfect volume earlier.
Yeah. I don't know, but don't worry. Let's get things rolling here because we got a lot to talk about as always. And we're going to start out with some weekend specials. We have our, if I can get to the right one here, Saturday. We have a weekend special for July 4th for now through the 7th, where you can spend money at Entertainment Earth and potentially get a little bit of money back. Not a lot, but whatever. And then, of course, as we mentioned last week, Amazon Prime days are coming up here, starting on the 8th through the 11th. And once again, we'll say check out Team Man's Amazon page to find some cool deals. So that's our way to help you save a little bit of money this summer. But let's hit our Transformer stuff real quick. And unfortunately, we might have to start with a little bit of a sad note because we already talked about Mr. Madsen passing, but we also lost former Marvel Comics editor Jim Shooter. Passed away at
I've met
71.
him.
He was very influential. You met him?
Yeah, he was actually at
I
a
never had the chance.
I got to meet him at GalaxyCon Raleigh about 6 years ago, and it was just fun talking to him. He was really proud of all what he did. He was humble for what he did. He, as I put it, he knew where he messed up. We laughed about what was something that's called the New Universe that Marvel tried to do, which ended up becoming the precursor to the Valiant universe. And mentioned to him how greenlighting those projects with Hasbro got me to 2/3 of who I am today. So
Well, that's excellent. I mean, it's interesting reading some of the stuff he's done, and I know his contributions that when he was editor in chief. I mean, he was definitely a polarizing person in that office. But the whole idea about the Valiant universe was really cool. I mean, just so many different characters that we see now in media. Some good, some bad. In regards to like the Bloodshot. Bloodshot was an amazing character.
I
Man of
love
is it what's the
Exo Man of
what's
War.
the guy with the armor? Thank you.
Exo Man of War.
So
Like I said, I loved Valiant. Like when it first came out, I actually almost had a complete run back in the day. The artwork, I think the biggest thing Valiant had going against it was the artwork was never inconsistent, and the writers were never consistent. Usually, like they kept rotating those around.
Yeah. We also wrote Harbinger, right? Harbinger?
Mm-hmm. Harbingers,
Yeah.
Dr.
Okay.
Solar.
Yeah, and then we also I didn't have the page here, but we also lost I'm gonna butcher his name. Is it Brandon Weiss? Weiss?
Who?
He was another amazing artist that worked on Marvel, DC. Just really cool artwork. I remember seeing him at Baltimore Comic Con. Butch Gleiss, I'm sorry. So he definitely was influential in the reign of Superman. He also started drawing in X Factor and such. So yeah, he died a while back, but still. Anyway,
Condolences.
I don't want to bring down anything. So, so we also have with us. If I can get this working. Why is this not working? All right, we talked last week conventions, and we finally got our exclusive for Comic Con Toronto, and that is MB23 Hangman. So this is another one of those. Is it the Power Masters?
Yeah,
Um,
this is
Where like the new
the Dreadwing, I want to say.
yeah.
right, but like the human turns into the engine here. So
Rest forth. Sorry.
No, that was a different team.
it's neat.
This is like
So
the G2 version of him.
yeah.
Kind of. I don't think they did G2. They did not
Did they
G2.
say?
Dreadwing and Darkwing in G2 became Dreadwing and Smoke Jumper.
Okay.
So this is just
Weren't
a
they in
totally
don't
Machine
say
Wars
what
as
the
well?
character.
what was that? Say?
You know if they were in Machine Wars?
No, they were not. Darkwing, and Dreadwing were only as Power Masters, and then those designs weren't seen again until Combiner Wars.
I'm thinking about Starscream.
Yes. Yes.
Did that one combine with something?
You're
Machine Wars
thinking of
Starscream?
the Beast Wars 2 Starscream, which was a recolor of Smoke Jumper, which combined with Dreadwing. God, I'm a dork. Because Dreadwing was
No, it's good to have.
this big flying wing bomber, and Smoke Jumper was like the smaller jet that, and it actually combined. He would slide in from the back. I know it doesn't sound right. And then when you pulled Smoke Jumper out, Darkwing would turn into a tank.
Nice.
It was cool.
Ooh.
And then in Beast Wars Neo, Beast Wars 2, not Beast Wars Neo. Beast Wars 2, he was Starscream, and the other one was called BB, which totally different Starscream, not like Starscream like who we backstabbing Starscream. It was just Starscream and BB.
In name only.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Like the Bay
Well,
universe.
this guy is going to be. This guy is going to be 600 serialized pieces for the convention. And I want to say, obviously, he's Canadian 210, which is 154 US as of the other day. I mean, whatever fluctuation is, but 150 bucks. So that's cool.
How many are you getting, Mike?
Now I am getting none. How many are you getting, T?
We're gonna multiply that by 3.
Oh, okay. Very cool. But yeah, so I mean, they don't show the other pictures where they had the other versions of these guys, but I don't know who all is going to Toronto, but you'll have a chance, I'm sure, after TFCon Toronto, they'll probably put up uh, whatever they have left for people to
Yeah, I
grab.
don't see it selling out.
So, so from that, yeah, we have. I don't know anything about this one, but I think you guys have spoken about it in the past. But the Takara Tomy Synergy Macross 7 Basaria Prime. We have got some official images, and he also went up for pre-order on Amazon Japan. So, Dave, you're an encyclopedia. What do you know about this guy?
It is based off a YF-19 fighter, that was the main guy from Macross 7, where they used music as weapons, where they were and that's I probably would have preferred, instead of him being Prime, especially with this canopy, that should have been Rodimus in every which way, shape, and form. Considering they're using freaking Rodimus's trailer, and
Yeah,
it would
but
make.
they didn't name him
Yeah.
Optimus. Luckily, it's just what's his name?
Sorry,
It's
it's Prime.
something. Yeah,
Or
I'm gonna say it's still a Rodimus homage because of the trailer
Especially with that trailer, yes.
and the color. He has
the
a
colors are really
faceplate
cool.
and a mouth plate. So only thing look like Optimus is he has that window chest, which opens up to display speakers.
He's got a little karaoke stand here with music and a microphone.
That's awesome.
Here's the faces you were talking about. So I guess that's his singing face or angry, whatever.
Yeah, it looks like Rodimus with Optimus horns.
Yeah, actually, you're right. That
Yep.
especially that first one
And
looks
that's
very Rodimus-esque.
I like that jet.
very IDW Rodimus.
I
Yeah, the
think
jet
last
itself
night
is
they
really
were
cool. And
saying
in
that it
fact, you
was
can get two of them.
125.
Yeah, I'd have to go and look up Amazon Japan and see the conversion rate, but we'll say 125. That's good.
He's on. They just put him
So-
on Big Bad. Actually, give me 1 second here.
Now, the weird thing
Oh,
about
really?
him is
Okay.
when you're thinking Macross crossover with Transformers, you automatically think Jetfire.
Yeah, he is available on Big Bad Toy Store right now for $199.
Yikes. Does it say the height?
Yeah.
I'll tell you on that one, it is 7.59 inches.
Yikes.
The other thing about that one, why he's not a Rodimus homage, is he's got freaking Optimus Prime's trailer chest.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mentioned that. It can come off and become speakers. But I say,
like
it's
that.
your toy. Pretend it's whatever you want.
That's true.
Yeah, but 199? I mean, that kind of Professor Soundwave kind of says that, the latest stuff is getting really pricey from
No.
Takara.
BBTS,
At least some.
like we're going to be talking about some of these later, but they got something in that was originally one price, but they're charging like an upcharge of $10 to $25 more, and then it still says tariff, so they might charge even more. I'm like, yikes.
Is that the Rodimus? Like the
Mask.
Shattered Glass Rodimus version?
Oh yeah, that's high, but the mask vehicles, they're way higher than what I was originally told at Toy Fair on BBTS at least.
Yeah.
So the exclusive they have is even crazier.
Yeah. Stuff's a changing as we go through things here. Let's see what else. Well, I mean, we talked about one unique kind of comic and anime style, but we also are going to once again see another Megatron, and it's dabbling back into the IDW world. We have MMC's reformatted Tyrannotron, Rise Warlord, Stormbringer Megatron. So this is, I think,
Jeez.
a reissue
God, how long ago was
from
Stormbringer?
another version.
Wait, this is MMC, right?
Well, at least
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
it's not a reissue, but it is using part of the Optus Texas body.
It's using part of that body.
Is
What
it?
part?
Yeah, the whole
I thought it
the
was just. I
legs
thought
are
this
the
was a reprint.
same. The whole like almost skeleton. They just put remolded parts on top of it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, for a Megatron fan, I mean, this is a really cool look. I mean, I think that spear slash sword I've seen before.
Pig for
But
Life has a couple of videos on this guy.
oh, he does.
The
Okay.
arms are the same. The hands are the same. The forearms are the same. Hands are the same. But it does have some
All right, well.
differences in the upper torso transformation.
Well, definitely to go back and check on Henry's page. I haven't been there in a minute.
But
So,
Epic Disaster, I think he has this in hand, so
oh, he
but
does.
he's
Well,
living in
it
Japan.
looks gonna be. Yeah, it looks like it's shipping right now. So, or it's shipping this month, I should say. Excuse me.
It's just,
But
man,
yeah.
it's
So I
weird.
mean,
Going back to Stormbringer though, that is like, that's, God, again, that's over 10 years ago. I mean, that's 50. I should look up, when was IDW Stormbringer?
yeah. I mean, this is kind of what we've seen in regards. Like a lot of people are reissuing older molds and updating. I mean,
2006 is when that came out.
2006. Oof.
But MMC has been slowly trickling out IDW designs.
Yeah, but dear God.
People
Yeah,
want it.
that's a bit of a yeah. I mean, people are going to buy it.
I'm sure, but
But
I mean,
that's most of
there's
the stuff.
nostalgia. I mean, that's just hitting, now it's just hitting like vintage nostalgia. God,
Well,
20
funny you
years. That was
mentioned that
20
because
years ago.
Well,
mm,
eh,
well, let's
this
go
is
back
40 years old.
since you
Right, but okay, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
that it would if you had a kid back then, he'd be going to college right now. So, but funny thing you brought up nostalgia and old stuff because let's talk about something that was revealed this week that went live, and that is we have a new HasLab, everyone. Yay.
What's
And
the
it's the
number?
Snow C.A.T, like we expected. And am I glitching? There we go. Am I back? Sorry, it looked like
Yeah.
I lost connection for a second. But yeah, so this went live this week. We had a nice video from the classified team about it. And right now we're sitting at 6,200 backers, which is about 78% away, or 78% of their initial goal of 8,000 backers. So I'll ask you guys. I'll start with Dave. Did you watch the reveal? What do you think about this HasLab?
I am about 75% going to get this. You're getting a lot for your dollar. You compare this to the Hiss tank, this is getting so much more than you got with the Hiss tank. It's got a lot of awesome features. It's got,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things that make the Snow C.A.T that was cool to begin with back in the day, the Snowpedos. I like the fact that you've got the modular back of making him from either an assault vehicle to being an armored trooper carrier. Just with I mean, we're not even talking the stretch goal stuff. We're just talking about the basic layout on here. I mean, with the
Hmm.
exception of the suspension, it's pretty much, they're probably retooling a good portion of the Hiss, which is absolutely fine for me. Don't get me wrong. Um, is it the one I would have really wanted them to do for a HasLab at this time? Not so much, because honestly, I'm not much of a polar Arctic warfare kind of guy. There's actually the whole Vala series that were the polar troopers I skipped completely over. Uh, Again, if I had my call, with my pull with Hasbro, I couldn't even say that with a straight face. I would have probably wanted the Havoc, but this looks absolutely awesome. This does look very good for what this is going to be. Again, not even talking the stretch goals. The presentation was A plus, and again, just I'm seeing with the basic vehicle, I'm seeing most of what you're getting on there. I mean, yes, if you I'm frozen.
Hmm.
No, we still hear
Okay,
you.
I'm sorry. I'm unfrozen
No,
now.
I think it's me. I don't know if my signal's working or not.
Okay, yes, if the lights were if you gutted the electronics, I would have probably still would have bought this for, $150 less, but the electronics actually look really sweet when they presented it on there. So, and of course, once you start adding the stretch goals to it, it's going to be an absolute
With you.
banger.
It does have
So
a
far
lot of
for
really
me,
good
every
stuff in it,
HasLab I've got, both my
especially
Joe
with
HasLabs have made me very pleased. So I'm looking forward for the third one to make me very pleased.
and it's not going to be a
What about
small
you, T?
vehicle to say the least. I mean, we're looking at 21 inches.
Me? Or did you want to finish,
What do you
Mike?
think, T?
I'm good.
Um, I'm gonna have to disagree with one of the things you
No, go
said.
ahead.
That isn't using any tooling from the Hiss, except those blast effects, which came with the Dragonfly. But
Really? I thought the rear part of it, because you know how the troop, when you take out the
oh no,
troop.
all this is new. Like it's wider, longer, and it's a HasLab, so they didn't use anything from the original. Oh, I mean from anything else. But I think if money was no object, I would have already backed it already. But there are other things that I want. Like I still don't have the Nintendo Switch 2, which costs a little bit more than this, and I that will be a whole. I don't know. Unless they have some type of payment plans, which I don't think they do, I'm gonna regretfully have to not get it. But I
Well,
definitely want it just based off of like you're saying, the base offering. The base offering is way more than we got with the Hiss. And I like people are making fun of it or upset about it, but the bivouac was one of the most interesting things they showed. Like that, like being able to do some type of diorama or pick photography or whatnot with that, I think is an awesome idea. But only $25 more than
What do you
the
guys
Hiss
think of the bait?
is great. But oh yeah, we got to talk about the new thing that I saw on there, HasLab charge. How much was that?
Oh, so yeah, I was saying I don't know if this is is this clicking or not. Am I here?
I hear you. I mean, we
Sorry,
hear
my
you,
signal
but it's
looks like
still
it's
low.
really low. So okay.
Like when you put him in the cart,
So
it
yeah,
says something about a HasLab
first off,
charge.
yes, and McLaren kind of brought it up here. So yeah, the base part of it is 325. Now, when I put it in my cart to look at it, there was a 20 or a $30 HasLab surcharge. And I didn't realize it was for non-members, but if McLaren's saying, if that's what they're doing now, because that's the first time I've ever seen something like that,
Huh.
and then add on tax and shipping, I was looking at close to $400 to get this, and it's
That's
not $400 for me.
if they're punishing you for not being a member, that's kind of a real dick move, to be honest.
We're gonna have to find out through somebody that's a member. I feel like that's we don't know how tariffs will be, so we're charging that. But they should have definitely explained that in the. I don't know if are going to explain it later on, or if we could ask somebody. Like, don't they have a GI Joe Instagram or something?
Yeah, you
But
you could definitely go back to Hasbro Pulse and talk about it, especially when they have when they put things up about the HasLab and the goals. Will they answer it? I don't know. Um, you could even possibly try asking Lenny directly, but he's more
yeah,
design and stuff, so he might not be into the marketing things, or he might bypass it. I'm assuming Emily has her own as well, but don't quote me on that. But what do you guys think about the about Frostbite here as the base figure that comes with this vehicle?
Oh, solid. I mean, I can't say too much about him. I've not really much of a nostalgia tie to him. It's not like I think he's good to have for a HasLab versus how Wild Bill was for the Dragonfly. Uh,
Uh,
he's
I
he's
I
fine.
do find it interesting that he's using. I find it interesting he's using some parts of Snow Job, but Snow Job, if I remember correctly, was using ball pegs for the torso, and he has it. This Frostbite here has a U joint for his torso, or for his ab crunch. So
What's the frost? I mean, what's the snow job parts? The arms?
I want to
Because the
say
pants are way different.
the pants are different, and I think the boots. But I'm saying like it looks like the bottom part of like his coat is kind of like the same design as Snow Job. Obviously, it's not because of how the ab crunch is laid out, but I don't know. It seems a little off-putting for that. But I don't
I
know. That's
don't
just me.
remember Frostbite at all. So, did he come with the original
Prob
snow cat?
Yes,
yeah. I
yes.
think the only
So
time
I
I saw
mean,
him was in the commercial.
yeah. I think he was in. He might have been in one episode of the cartoon. I can't remember
Yeah,
at this
Snow
point. But
Job replaced him in the show.
I
yeah,
love the kitchenette, by the way.
yeah. That's been another interesting topic of conversation. Is we have this whole kitchen environment set up, and it kind of ties into some of the other accessories for the stretch goals. But you get
I like.
stickers that you can do things with.
Well, this is gauged for. I like the fact they've gauged this for photography.
Yeah, they probably asked the photographer what would he like.
Well, let's get to the tier goals real quick, just to help out, and we'll move along here. So the first tier goal is for 10,000 backers, and you get a Lady J. Now, T, you were being having a little bit of fun today with her, with
Hmm.
some AI. Oops, let me get her. Sorry, it's not. There we go. Is that a little better? So we get Lady J in her Arctic gear, and not too bad. I think she looks. Her face is definitely better than what we got with the first issue in the retro
Yeah,
release of her.
and her hair is more cartoon
I
accurate.
don't know. I'm assuming that these are going to be yes, and I'm assuming that it's not going to be a separate hair piece. That these are actually two separate heads.
Yeah,
At
they
least I assume so. I
yeah
don't know,
those they didn't. I don't think they
but
specified
it's cool
whether
we get
those
this.
headphones can come off, but I believe that separate head is a full mold.
Okay.
It has to be because
So that's cool.
Flint,
That's for
the
10,000.
secondary head with his beret is the beret is permanent.
Hmm.
Okay. So, well, speaking of that, we'll go into tier two, and you kind of mentioned it earlier. We have this for 12,000 backers. We have a bivouac battle station accessory diorama piece. Um, it's got some neat things. It's supposed to be soft goods, and the light up fire pit is really cool. Or is it light up?
I
Or is it
love
just
that fire
transparent?
pit. I
I can't remember.
absolutely
But
love that fire pit.
it's yeah, it's a neat little setup.
I think you're gonna have to put your
And
own light underneath
yes,
of there.
Mariano, it was the Snow Cat. Yeah, I think you're right. But it's neat to have a bunch of different accessories and a little uh, rack to lay on.
I would
But
love
then,
that
as you were
snow
saying,
the
tier three, we get
fire
another
pit.
figure.
And look how many
Oh,
accessories they come with. That
oh, the
is
little fire
nuts.
pit on here. Yeah, definitely.
The fire pit could work for
For the
Fortnite
figures.
display as well.
Yeah, I mean we're
I like the eggs. I like the
Fortnite.
sausages. I like this is just really it's stupid in all the right ways.
It
So
definitely
many
is.
people.
You're not going to be. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so many people are going to be camping.
God damn it! Now I need to buy this just so I can set up camping for a sniper.
We got several snipers.
So yes. So this is running until the beginning of August. They're looking for 8,000 backers, 124. So you guys are, T, you said you're out. Dave, you're a maybe. I'm out on it, but I'm sure that we will see plenty of people get this in fall of 26.
Really,
But we're
you're out
keeping
on it?
track on it
Okay.
as always. I don't have the room, and with college starting back up, I have to know my limits or focus on other things that I don't need to do. But speaking of new stuff that we're talking about, and T, you mentioned it earlier, Mask is alive again, thanks to the Loyal Subjects, and available for pre-order at BBTS exclusively. So that's the
And they're
one thing I saw that, go ahead, Dave.
they're doing an interesting approach to this too. The
Agreed.
uh
Because not
the
only can
fact that
you,
you could just pre-order the entire bundle.
absolutely. Uh, so if we click on this, so
I
like you
didn't know
said,
about
here's the
that.
bundle. 300 $325 for everything plus an exclusive T-Bob and Scott figure.
So
So,
that's 4 figures effectively, not including T-Bob.
4
So
vehicles.
mhm,
yeah,
four
Because the,
vehicles.
the,
I mean that's
the
still an
Rhino
average,
comes with 3 people.
right? But that's still an average of $82 a set.
Yeah.
Yep.
All I
And
barely have any
come on, Lowry.
I barely have any nostalgia for Mask and those price points, even before uh, BBTS put the upcharge on it, murdered me. Because I would want the tiny helicopter
Yeah.
bike to be like $15 and it's 30. Or is it no, it's 20. The car is 30. The no, I'm think I'm getting that wrong. The bike is 30, the car is 50, the jet is 75, and the Rhino is 100. But with BBTS,
Uh,
add $10 to all of that, and then add $25 to the base Rhino.
yeah, the base Rhino itself with Matt and Bruce is $175 with the
Oh no,
tariff
that's the one
surcharge
that comes
included.
with all T-Bob. They have a
No, no,
separate
the
one
bundle
that's
was 320
125.
on here because when I was looking at it, let me find it real quick. This is the, oh, it is 125. Why did I have it higher? Oh well, I was wrong. But yeah,
Oh, that still comes with 2 people.
that's it only comes with two people.
So the other one comes with
Yes.
4, including T-Bob. Or am I making stuff?
It comes with the bundle with this comes with Matt and Bruce, Scott, and T Bob. So that's where you get your four
Yeah.
figures. And you get Scott and T Bob for exclusives
I
if
don't
you
know.
get the whole thing.
Whoever's
But yeah,
buying it, I hope
prices
they're happy.
Yeah. Well, Mask has probably been the second most underappreciated line from those days. Probably a second. Only one I put on top of that would be Visionaries.
Mm,
And
yeah,
people for
I mean,
this who had a fandom for this is literally their first taste in 35 years of getting something. So, not counting
I remember
Ace's
getting
stuff.
yeah, I remember the first mass vehicle I got was the Thunderhawk, and it was a cool thing to get. I mean, it was
If
It was a good
If
series. I had a couple of their vehicles.
yeah, oh, I love those toys
Go
as a
ahead, Jason.
kid. In fact, I'm looking at this. Don't need Rhino, don't need Condor, Thunderhawk, not so much. Probably the only one that even slightly has that giving me that itch per se is maybe Switchblade, just because it was just such a fucking cool concept and stupid at the same time.
I agree with you, but it looks like at least through BBTS's discussion or guys in the chat, you're saying it's overpriced. Are you talking specifically with BBTS, or are you talking just the prices overall? So,
The prices I
I
was given when I went to Toy Fair, the Rhino was 99.99, not 125. So the
hmm,
fact that they're $25 more makes me feel like BBTS upcharges.
Mm.
And then they're still saying, oh, wait, no, it says includes tariff surcharge. So
inc-
there we go with that.
yes, yeah, they already added that in. But yeah, I mean, Toy Fair for you was back in March, right?
Yeah, that wasn't that long
That's what it
ago.
was. No, it's kind of weird, but all right.
That was
So
before, I think, the
none of these are.
tariffs and all that.
Yes, before it started going nuts, because that was in April when they started going all over the place. But so you guys aren't in on this at all? It's not hitting all that
No.
nostalgia,
Not at
something that
all.
they maybe put. Yeah, me either. It's cool that we see it, but we just saw, like we were talking about last week with Pops and such and Bulletproof. Everything old is coming back. So
Give me a
ah,
classified
so
mat
we go
tracker
from
and I'll be all right.
yeah. Well, what if I bring you up to today and tell you there's another superhero you can snag, and that is the SH Figuarts Superman for the movie that's coming out, I think next week.
I
So
hope. I've been seeing so many promo videos.
I am excited for this movie. I am
yes,
so
it's been
excited for this movie.
Yeah, I'm excited for this and Fantastic
it's
Four.
getting marketed. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is actually the first time in a while I've said I actually want to go to the theater to see some of these movies instead of just waiting for them to come out. But this figure, I mean, I've never had any figure art stuff, so, but I mean, the sculpt on this looks pretty good. There has
Hmm.
been a little bit of a funny thing about this, and I think it comes with one picture here. Well, or else it's kind of multiple pictures, but a lot of people were comparing this to the actor from Happy Gilmore with Shooter McGavin. Trying to, there you go. That's
I
the one
can
everyone
see it.
looks at.
Yes, I
So
do
I
see
can't
it.
I can't unsee it now.
And honestly, that is a
So.
problem FigueArts does have. I hate to say this. This look as cool as this is going to be. And it even though it probably won't come out for another 3 years, the Moffax will absolutely be better. Moffax has become to
Hmm.
action figures, kind of like how Fans Toys has gone to Transformers, where people are like, okay, cool, but I'm gonna wait for the Moffax. It's hit that point. And the thing is, though, they
Yeah.
always deliver. People are waiting on that one. I mean, I'm looking at this face sculpt right now, and I am seeing was it Joe Piscopo? No. But I'm seeing Shooter McGavin with Cillian Murphy like merged together. I don't know. It's just it doesn't look like the guy from Superman. This is a very slappable face.
No.
It,
Yeah, this is
Uh,
this is it's much more smug. It's like New 52 Superman
it looks like the
in
guy who's
for
who's
me.
gonna try to close down the family restaurant and a Hallmark Christmas movie.
I think the texture
So
might
yeah,
be accurate.
definitely. I mean,
And you won't get
I'm
content
not going
like
to use
that at
McFarlane.
any other podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, at least he
Yeah,
can look
definitely. It's
forward
it's
while
a
he's flying. That's good.
yes, and this is a much richer and more detailed texture than what we have with Toddy Mac. So, but obviously, it sounds like we're not really in on this one. It's set to release next January, and it's going to be about $70. So interesting to say the least. Next one we got. Just trying to roll through this stuff, guys. Uh, we're gonna talk about exclusives and convention stuff. Let's talk about my favorite line, and that's Jada. And they released not one, not two, but three exclusives that are going to
Oh,
be
oh,
available at San Diego Comic Con and shortly afterwards this month. So we'll start off at the top. We saw this one before. This is M. Bison in his green. Um, I love it. I love these alternate versions. I think they're really cool. Um, Plus, this one has a lot of really neat additional effects. Again, I think you both have handled this figure. I mean, the soft goods cape on it is just top notch.
mhm.
Sculpt, it's Jada sculpt, to say the least. It's good.
Yeah, my
I
only
know it's gonna
problem
be a
with
nice
him was
solid figure.
no type of boot or ankle swivel.
I remember you saying that in your video, and that's something that
Oh,
we've seen with other figures in line. But I
He
guess maybe with the
also, I
bigger
just
one,
noticed the other one
we
didn't
haven't
have
had
the
it.
thumbs. The other one didn't have the thumb. I'm looking at my player one, my original one. Yeah, he can't do that pose
Yep.
because he doesn't have that thumb.
that is perfect right there.
He
Whoever
he
posed
doesn't.
this, because that's the
Yeah, that just
Batiste
hit. I'm
pose.
just sitting
He
looking
has
like,
the
God damn it!
thumb
Given the parts,
Yep, just like
and he's
Chun
coming
Li
with
and her
a
smiling
special
face.
head just for player one. That's just a wicked picture. I love that look where he's throwing the cape off. The grin is amazing. But we also get these deluxe effect parts, which,
Oh yeah,
yes, yes, take my money. Yes, these are awesome.
oh crap! He
Um,
fits in the Psycho Crusher. That's just, God damn it!
that is
no
awesome.
Where's
prices yet either, Dave.
how's that meme? How does the meme go?
Take my money. Oh yeah, this has
Wicked.
to be $55.
So we
I
have
don't care. I'm buying it. I'm buying it. I was pissed. I was really ticked off at the pricing of the Player 2 Fei Long, which I wanted, but I didn't want to pay $40 for that. That one right there, I'm buying it. I don't care. Kind of like how Juggernaut,
well,
when Juggernaut went for pre-order
save it.
a couple weeks ago, buying it. And again, same with this. I'm buying it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just get it because you're gonna get this special head now with the flame when he's
And they
blowing
put
the
that
flames.
face on the other player one too, which is like, what is
Yep.
it? Jersey Maniac calls that hostage 2 packs. I don't care because
I'm in on them.
it
I mean,
justifies it. I mean, the fact
I
of doing
know.
the photography as the mirror match per se, I'm with that.
Hmm. I
How
love it.
that balance
And
work
then
is on
this one,
point.
I mean, this is awesome. So cool. And then, like I said, we're gonna get this face for the player one version as well. So I mean, yeah, if they're anything like I think Violent Ken was $50, and then Chun Li was 50 as well. But you know, they're hitting us in our wallets, and now this is where they're gonna hit T in his wallet because there
Yeah,
was, like I said, that's two. Our third one was just dropped today, and that is the Mega Man New Metal 6 pack figures. So you sounded like you were excited for this as well.
yeah, they have to be one of the most popular. They're like Mega Man's Goomba. Because they're in like
I
every
love,
game, and they have a variation in Mega Man X.
and I love this packaging, this very retro TV look. I think it's really cool. I mean, that's just
Oh
it's
wow,
perfect exclusive.
yeah, I wouldn't throw that
So
away.
no, not one bit. And the fact that we got at least some of our articulation, and I don't know if it maybe they say in here, but I mean that one looks like is the helmet adjustable?
I think
That's
the
something
helmet
I would like to
comes
know.
off because they hide under the helmet to annoy the hell out of you, and these things can't possibly squeeze underneath of that helmet.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Titan
think
says it's
is it
possible to
another
be a
picture?
molded
They had another
piece.
picture with the helmet flat on the ground.
Let me see if they might have it on. This is Torque. I
I
don't know
mean,
if
they
they have
look kind.
that one on
They,
here or
they
not.
look cute.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So the helmet
Okay.
has to come off. There's no way they can fit under there.
Definitely. And again, going back with the Street Fighter stuff, Venomite. You know, a lot of people are good with them. You don't need the variants, but at least it kind of they're doing them smartly in regards to, like, you don't have to have them, but if you are looking at that nostalgia for the game itself, you have those variants, and at least I'll say still for now, overall, Street Fighter is reasonably priced. Now they did up to $29.99 compared to when the first wave came out, but still, it's a good value. Now we talked about it before with Storm Arena. Their 1/12 is coming out, so and it's relatively the same price. Are they going to go as deep? Who knows?
That's the biggest thing. You know what? That's the biggest thing. Honestly, that is the number one concern with the Storm Arena because I want them. I've got them all pre-ordered, but it's are they going to complete the roster? And that's probably the number one thing that Jada has done. They have ensured, guaranteed us, and given us tangibles of the complete roster, which
Oh yeah.
nobody has done on any
And they did it
fucking
quick.
game line.
I think if we stay alive long
Yeah,
enough,
they do have all
once
the
they get
prototypes out. It's
all of
just
these player T's out there, they're gonna probably start doing separate packs of the accessories. Because what else are they gonna sell? Unless they go to Street Fighter Alpha or whatever.
exactly. Well, we go from what I want to close it on that one because we go from reasonably priced to crazy price, and that is the Con exclusive that is going to be shipping out after San Diego Comic Con, and this is the new 52 version of Nightwing. Um, the regular version should be coming out here probably at the end of this month.
Ooh,
But
I have that
I
one
love the
pre-ordered.
red. I really love it. Do you
This
pre-order this?
Not this one. I actually have the
Oh,
other
you have.
Nightwing on pre-order.
He looks
Oh, okay.
cool.
Oh,
Is
I
it the
canceled
same
the other one.
outfit on the other one?
I It is exactly the same, except instead of blue, it's red. And I love the red look.
Yeah, I like
I
that.
think this is a really sharp version of Nightwing. Plus, he has extra accessories compared to the other release. If I can
That's
get
the
down
one
here
thing
to that,
that's got me
I love this
annoyed.
picture here too. Is
That's a
the
good
fact
shot.
that we get. Sorry if yeah, say if I'm scrolling too fast, tell me to stop. But I want to get to the accessories. So again, per usual, these are all the same heads that we get with the original version, most of the hands, but we get 4 Eskrima sticks and a connector versus the 2 with the regular release. And I can't remember if the darts come with it or not with the
I
original
don't
release.
think so.
But
The other one's
yeah,
much more. The other one's got the electricity.
well,
It's got the spinning effects and the holster.
mhm,
But no, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think the darts. The darts are. Oh God, I have to give this one to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But fortunately, though, it's
yeah,
not. The coloring
yeah,
is good,
and
and it's it's not enough to make me regret for purchasing the first one. It's kind of like how like that
mhm,
Shadow re-release is going, where if you couldn't get one and you're getting this one, both you'll be happy with both. So cool. I don't feel like I'm
yeah.
not feeling
Now,
cheated on
now,
those accessories, but at the same time, it's awesome that if you waited and got this one, you'll be happy.
I regret it for you.
and if you are, I say, if
Well,
you
I
did
want to throw
wait
this one
for
real
it, you
quick.
are paying a little bit more.
Yeah.
Sure.
Storm showed Nash in 2 versions of Morgan. That's not 2 versions of Morgan. That's Morgan and her sister Lilith. And if Matt was here, he'd be all over that.
Uh, the red is too shiny, Mariano. I'm all about I hated the 50. I hated New 52, but I love this version. So I, I I did do this one, and I canceled my other one, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay getting the
You
painted
know what?
extra. But
Why did he go with
I love
blue
the
anyway?
Hmm?
what's that?
Why did Robin go with blue anyway when red was his thing?
Because it was the opposite of his thing.
Uh,
Yeah,
Nightwing.
he was tired of
Did you
being
ever? You never read the Judas Contract, did you?
I haven't read a DC comic.
So it was
in
back.
forever.
George Perez wrote this. It was Teen Titans, the Judas Contract, and that's when Robin stepped away from being Robin. And then he didn't know what he was going to do. And they actually kind of did the Judas Contract in the Teen Titans cartoon. So that was the thing with Terra and Deathstroke or Slade and and basically Deathstroke got all the Titans, and Deathstroke's other son had to come in and help Jericho. And Nightwing's like, all right. Well, he was Dick Grayson's like, okay, I'll help out, but they're like, let me get your Robin gear. He's like, nope, I'm not going to be Robin. I am not Robin. I am past Robin. And he comes out in the blue gear saying, I am Nightwing.
That's the cool thing about. I never
And we're
even thought
talking
about
about
it till just now that he never ever went back to being Robin ever, right?
Nope.
no,
Continuity.
because by the time he was doing that, we had Jason when he came out in his disco Nightwing suit that Dave's talking about. We had Jason Todd, and then he got killed off, and then we had Tim Drake, and now we have Dickhead Damien. But this
God,
was something that popped
Damon.
up, and this is our next to last news article. Damien is he's a I don't know. I don't care for him, but
Damien's
move
over
on.
20 years old now. I
But
never
what I do
realized
care
that.
about is a new pre-order window. What?
Yeah.
Jesus Christmas. Too old. Too damn old, man. But what's not old is a new set of pre-orders for Four Horsemen. Now they brought up a new storyline last night when they opened up this pre-order, and it is the horror of Ismail. Ismail, whatever. But it's a really interesting, very Viking-oriented pre-order window or pre-order set of figures. Just hit a couple highlights of them. We have Halvard of Farfanugan. He looks cool.
Wait, do
This
these
screen
have
just
double
doesn't
jointed
let you
knees?
kind of
Some of them.
make them bigger. This is a 1.0 figure, so this still has a single jointed elbows and knees.
Oh,
So, but he's got a really cool. I love the soft goods cloak and under tunic. Again, see Jessam is just amazing. Plus that horn is just really freaking cool looking. And that piece there by the shield is a newly sculpted item that kind of allows the shield to be offset, so it's not directly over the hand. It's kind of more towards the forearm, so you get a little more of a different look with him. So he is from the Royal Bear. Uh, I get
I
all
like
factions
him.
screwed up, but we have
That
the leader,
alternate head is interesting with the
Commander
chainmail covering. But
Ingrid. Oh,
I like
going
her.
back to the other guy. Yes, I do like. I mean, love all the accessories on this. Honestly, I mean that's a cool look.
Yeah,
Though
that's
I don't know if I
interesting.
want metal stuck to my face in a winter.
Yeah,
She is
that looks
really
good.
cool. I love the look of her. I love the face, and the layered look with like this little fur line area underneath her chin.
She
Um,
looks like a blonde
cool
Jean
alternate
Grey.
head. This is a
I
brooch.
get that reference, by the way, just so you know. Don't worry, I get
I
that
like it.
reference.
And we get this really cool torch and stuff that she comes with. It's a good amount of accessories. She is a 2.0 body, so that's the smaller, thinner uh, body buck that they have.
Upper
And
torso.
then I'll bounce to the 3.0 body. Say again.
Says the upper
It's
torso joint.
the mid torso cut.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but then we have Tikal Iron Bones. He's a 3.0, which is where we start seeing the new articulation that was shown
He's
in
got my interest.
not Reign not Reign of the Beast, but he's a really cool ice ogre. So you can see here he's got the double jointed elbows. He does have a bicep cut, and I think these are double jointed knees. Let me find the other picture that shows. So you can see this is a little bit better here with the bicep cut. He's got a butterfly joint.
Yeah.
Um, those forearm things are overlays. So, and then I can't really
He's a good
tell. I
price.
can't
At
really see, and
42
I can't
bucks, that's a
remember the
good
screen.
price for that too.
Oh, wait, it is butterfly
These
joints.
are. He does, right there. You see the
Wow,
cuts.
shocking.
So this is the new 3.0. So
It only took them forever.
yes,
There's pros and
and the alternate.
I know why they didn't do what they've done because now you can't pop and swap the old stuff with the new stuff, but
How many people did
Mhm.
that? Well, the customizers,
Yeah,
never
look.
mind.
I would like to say, dude, if you go on the
Yeah,
websites on them, people do a lot of it.
yeah. I did a what?
Some people collect them
Oh,
and don't even know.
That's true.
I was bamboozled. Uh, then we have a new scale that came out, and this is the Imp scale. This is
No.
Burris Bergen story.
That's
So
totally not inspired by
really,
getting a plunderling.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't see that earlier.
that's the little scroll head that makes him a completely alternate figure. But this, I mean, the accessories that comes with him. He's the mayor of this town in the story, and he's also the proprietor for the local tavern. So he, of course, has his ale. That froth comes out of the tankard. So it's just a really awesome look. And again, Trevor Williams's photography is awesome. So and I like the fact they have the logo for the townhouse, the public house on the barrel as well.
I'm
And
liking
then
the
we have
price.
a second imp.
If we were to go to a
You liking the
convention,
price?
they would be this price.
Not anymore. And these prices actually went up because before their pre-orders for like their standard figures were 37 for direct
Oh,
pre-orders, and then they would go up to like 40 something at like retail. But like everything else in the world that we see, prices are going up. So 42 is going to be the new standard price, and then add maybe 25%. I don't know. We're looking at probably 55 bucks now for standard figures. But this one's cool, and this is the a lighted fire pit accessory. So that's, I mean, it's just really neat. You got a little pan there. So, but yeah, he's a neat little furry animal. Let's see.
yeah, I like them. They seem to come with
Just real quick,
more accessories for their price point.
they have continuously added more accessories, and with a new fans like Dave from this year. I mean, I I share that excitement that, once you start getting it, you start pulling apart the trays, plural, of all the accessories, it just makes it really cool. I love this accessory set for 25 bucks because this can be used in most anything that you want now. You're getting another barrel, you're getting tankards, you're getting plates of food and sausages. Um, this, if I go pre-order anything directly from them, I'm definitely going to go and get this. Um,
Yeah, I could use that for my
it's
Link figure.
2,000.
Have him throwing a barrel at somebody.
Yeah.
And
Now, the
the
villain
food
of
that
the
he finds.
story is yes, and that's the thing. There's each of these figures come with like little bits of food and stuff to fill things out. But the villain of this storyline is an ogre scale, and we're getting a werewolf finally. And this is freaking awesome. I mean,
This
this is the body buck from
Damn.
the Reign of the Beast, like Leonidas. So, but the new sculpt and everything for the werewolf head is just absolutely wicked. I love it.
this
Um,
is yeah.
it looks
I'm
really
not
cool.
in on the whole wave on this one. I want this guy.
Oh, absolutely. This is a must, especially for $80 because you're looking at $100 figure retail minimum.
Hmm.
Um, but just I love this muzzle type thing that goes over his face. Just I don't know, it's just really cool. So,
And
and
it looks
then
like he
we'll
has a
close
lot of
out
leg
with
joints.
yeah, this is going to be like they've been retooling the larger body bucks. Like I said, this is an ogre scale, so they've been retooling, getting more range in the arms. They're not going to be double jointed, but you are going to get much more of a deeper cut, so you can go more than 90. And to answer McClaring's item, I don't think we're going to get a golden compass, but we are getting a polar bear. And this is really cool. I mean, this is kind of like reusing the grizzly bear from the Rising Suns wave with a newly sculpted polar bear head. But yeah, $80 for this is a steal because I think
Yikes.
well, I keep going BBTS, but retail version for that bear was $100 as well. Plus, you get the option, you have the ability to make him stand up on his haunches. So, really cool.
We enlarged that
All
standing
that
up
being
picture.
said, what's that?
I
You
want
Can
to
we
gonna
want
make
what?
that
the
bear. I am.
This is
I
awesome.
want to
I
want
mean,
that bear, aren't I?
it's and supposedly this is going to be weighing more than High Warden Slog from Cosmic Legions, and that was the big meatball-sized green guy. So, I mean, that's not hollow in there. That's going to be a solid torso piece. But all of this is for 375. Um, you're looking at retail probably about $500 if you try to get everything from that. But this is open
cheap?
until I
My
think the
bear is
3rd
going to
of
be Art
August.
Owl.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's for Mythic fans. I mean, they clamor for this. You're gonna put your money down and then wait 18 months for it. And that community, they're fine with it. So like I said, beginning of August, you have until 11:59. I think the first Sunday of August to pre-order everything, and then it'll go to the other e-retailers like Hella Dope and BBTS and all that stuff. You're liking the Hasbro Polar Bear better? I don't know, man. Like the looking at how they're doing the grizzly, there's a lot more articulation in that bear than it shows in the pictures. But for price and stuff and what you're getting, I can't fault you on that. You're getting a polar bear. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah,
Um,
I got these from Hella
last
Dope.
thing before we
They're
get
Dave
into our,
suggested.
you did
Weren't they packaged amazing?
very good.
Yes, they were packaged amazing. They had bubble wrap and that paper wrap in there at the same time.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'll shill the hell as I'll shill as
Oh,
like those guys. They do fantastic work. The site is run by fans. They still haven't invited us back to their show, but I don't care. I'll still say good things about them. Ted, if you ever catch this.
besides
Yeah. Where's he at?
shipping, the price was $29.99. The price that Target was, but everywhere else they seem to be $35.
Hmm.
That's right. We
Well, we're going
recommend
to go ahead
quality.
and kind of, I'm going to hit one other item here, and I'm just going to go to the Find My Figures Instagram because with DFW happening last week, of course, we had the Valaverse panel, and that was full of a lot of really good stuff. And we could probably go an entire show and talk about that, but we're not, just because we've got other stuff to talk about. But there's really, it was a whole series of different things, and we're going to kind of go around and try to pick out some of these items. And I don't know if they don't have the guys. All right, we're
Uh,
going to rapid fire this for everyone. If you haven't seen it, we'll put a link for the Valaverse panel, or just go to Valaverse's website and they'll do the stream. Plus, they're gonna have a Q&A on 3POA this weekend. But they showed a whole bunch of different stuff, including now we're getting a Black Vanguard. Again, this is going to be kind of the same pricing as what we see now. That it was 124.99 versus the 184.99. The bundle, which includes the updated turret, the vehicle itself, the missile pod, and the hull for 160. So If everyone didn't like
I
the
need to
gray,
order
the
those
gray
haul
or the
pieces.
tan, now you got a black option. $25, man. 25, and they ship out fast. I mean, other people say that they had to wait a week and a half. Mine was out. I got my tracker number 2 days. And Action Figure Attic, I knew you were at that panel. I wish I was there. I know that talking to other people like Rollkeeper and Chad, it was a fun time, especially when they brought out the discussion with a new faction, and that is the Black. Um, this really got my attention because I love pirates. So the fact that we have mercenaries that are former Navy now running the high seas and protecting the coast of the U.S. while managing trade in and out is really awesome. I do love these body bucks. I mean, Blackbeard in and of itself with the Atlas body and new sculpting for the arms is like just awesome. So
And that guy in the background is based on a real actor.
yes, let me get him. Here is Vane. He's the second in command, and that is Zach McGowan, who played Charles Vance in Black Sails, which, if you haven't watched that series, it's 4 seasons and it's really freaking awesome. But he is licensing his likeness for Vane to go with the black, which is just really, I mean, I'm cool with it,
It's
man.
cool.
You know me, I'm down on all this stuff. Um, they
They're
talked
doing a
about
sort of
two
Hasbro
exclusives
thing
or creating
where
like the
Hasbro
little
has
sub
real
teams.
people.
Well, Val has been doing that. Has done
Correct.
that before. Dusty was based off a UFC fighter. Obviously, Desert Rack was based
And
off
then
of
start
one of the three. And
Of course, Sergeant
Sergeant
Slaughter.
Slaughter. Yep. Older Sarge. But they also talked about this, which got me excited as well. But there's a partnership now with Ubisoft, and they're bringing Splinter Cell to Action Force, which I'm down with it. I mean, Splinter Cell was like one of my favorite games
he's
from the
not to
original
Action
Xbox
Force.
all the way
Splinter
through.
Cell, Splinter Cell
Yeah, so I mean, I guess Action Force in regards to like the toy.
to
Yeah, you're right.
Valaverse, to
It's
the
totally
Valaverse.
separate,
Yeah,
but
Yeah, the bodies
they're
will
going to
be
go
able
in.
to be
It's under
interchangeable.
Valaverse. Yes, yes. He said everything is going to be compatible across the lines. Um, but that's cool. We have weapons packs coming out. We have Lima, Mike, and then in November we're going to have this bazooka. We have new backpacks coming out, and as well as a tin for tech vests and stuff. So all these army builders that you've been procuring and wondering how you're going to gear them up, now you're going to have that come the fall. We have
Normal people.
emails. This is a 3 pack of our Action Force ladies with workout gear and accessories.
I'm
So,
torn on this.
I mean, I wasn't expecting this. It's kind of out there a little bit. I don't know where this kind of lies in, and
I,
that's one of the things kind of weaving in and out of Action Force and Valaverse. It's a random thing,
I,
but it's more
yeah,
females and it's more heads. So people who wanted a more uh, less growly Gemini face, you're gonna get one. Another Kill Switch head, which is fantastic. I love her. And of course Eclipse. So, and these accessory kits, I mean, you're going to get a workout set. All right. And then they're talking about sculpting. So had to bring that up, but we're going to get a little more cake in our diet from the females. So, but a lot of really cool stuff. I could keep on going on with all these things with Duarte Studios partnership. They're going to talk about getting into World War
Oh,
II and figures from that line. How far they're going to go into things, I don't know. In regards to, are they going to do all the baddie bads accurately or not? Who knows? But it's really cool.
hey,
We'll find out more in.
did they have
Go
the
ahead.
regular people, the regular dudes?
Yeah, yeah. Let me try to find a picture of those real quick of the extras.
Yeah, I think they That can't be that far. They must not have uploaded it.
Yeah, but yes, they're doing he's doing a series called Extras, which would show standard people that you can populate into your dioramas and everything.
Just
They
regular
will.
But
humans
we
you
have
find
2
on the street.
exclusives.
Yeah, and it's been confirmed that they
Possibly.
won't have alien heads.
It is confirmed, and they will have a new articulation for the torso, which will allow the
Oh yeah,
outer garment to be a softer PVC, so you can get better range moving around. We have 2 exclusives. This is going to be the next one for ToyCon New Jersey in September, and this is the Infantry Commander 2.0, which has a couple variants because everything with Valaverse now is a variant of something. You're going to get a chance to get one. There's going to be 100 of these really beautiful looking multicam Steel Brigade heads. So I probably won't get it, but I have plenty of other ones I can try to paint as well. Um, and then for Legions Con in November, I said I was going to be done, but I love this look too. But we have a Day of the Dead version of Sidewinder, which
I
I
want,
think
I
looks
want, I want.
really,
same.
I really love it. Put it right
But he'll
next
be
to
at Legion's
the
Con, which is
Morta.
the actual con I'm supposed to be going to.
All right, I'm holding you to that.
You are going.
Jazz and I are gonna
I paid for the
Jazz
tickets.
and I are
No,
gonna
no,
be there.
I already paid for the tickets. I booked the hotel room. I told my boss, if you fuck me over on this one, you are not going to have me being loyal subject much longer.
It'll be good to me. So lots of cool stuff. We could even go more into it, but like I said, we've kind of gone too long with the news, and I
Yep.
apologize for slowing down.
Yeah,
But
we can get to
one of
some
the
of the
things we
things
talked
when
about, at least in the thumbnail and stuff, is we're halfway through 25 already. Scary as it sounds. And there's been some interesting things, and we kind of talked about like trying to find the top 5 items. So that's what I'm going to try to show up here real quick. So for number 5, we have something that I thought people were excited for, but then wondering like what is it gonna mean, and that is not this ad. I will continue with us for you, but Cotty Mac losing the DC license to Mattel. That was kind of a question of who was going to get what, and if he was going to keep it, and it was kind of. I thought it was interesting to see Mattel. I know they had it before, and then before Todd took it, and now we're seeing him shovel out so much DC stuff, and some of it is actually some of his best, in my opinion. And again, I'm a
You know,
noob with some of his stuff, but some of the
I
best looking
it's
figures.
cool. Shit. Well, a bunch of stuff just fell. As far as I know, that was the interesting one for me. Though it was probably the figures being stolen. The topic on figures being stolen.
Yeah, and we haven't heard anything
Just
else
like
about that.
the AI images
I mean, all we have on there is
but
the
I think
single
that
exclusive
they
expose
were.
that we have. Well, hello there. I guess you're all wondering, where did all these toys go? Well, that's the best part. It's not someone like me. Oh no. You're doing it to yourselves. Denying yourselves. Preventing yourselves. That's the best joke of it all. Some people think it's some crazy mastermind. Oh no. When it's all said and done, it's just a fanboy sitting at home playing with his dolls. I love that.
Yeah. Make it louder.
Oh,
His what's question? Will Mattel make enough Batmans?
I don't know.
But somebody was.
The
I was
question is,
talking
are
to
fans going to
somebody.
want
They
to
were
start
like,
all over again collecting figures?
somebody I was talking to was like, they didn't lose the license. Mattel is gonna have the 6-inch license. I'm like, please, before you keep talking to me, Show me where it says that. We don't know nothing besides they're losing the license. I never heard that they were
So
still
then
going
we
to be able
found
to
out.
do anything.
Nope. And
And
then
we
the other
still don't
news
know
with
what
licensing was
scale Mattel is going to do.
we don't know anything yet. That's right. We won't know until probably the second half of this year, which means we probably won't see it till beginning of 26. But what we do know is Hasbro still has their hands and their fingers deep into Disney, um, and giving them a lot of money to maintain Star Wars and Marvel. This was happening in April, where that was announced that they were getting extended, and the community was the community. There were some that were extremely happy with it, and some that were not. But
What did they
long story
want to
short,
happen?
hmm but
So what do people
we still
want to
have.
happen?
I mean, there were we all kind of seen were like, well, what company should be picking this up, and who should be doing Legends now, and who would do it just to do something better. And honestly, I mean, what company is going to be able to pick up something like that and pay for the licensing that Disney is going to ask for? People are like, oh, Valaverse
Right.
should do it. There's no way in hell he could afford that, not one bit. Um,
This just in:
and
Super
any
7
company,
taking the Star Wars license.
well,
All of a
if
sudden,
Super
people
7
at
did take
Hasbro are
that
going,
license.
"Missed us yet?"
Who doesn't want a $50 Legion or Legends figure?
Right.
So,
The only good
but
thing
let's
is they would
see.
come with more accessories and actual force hands, but they would have similar articulation, if not better.
True.
Mm,
So
Think about
we
Black
we
Series.
we have that.
They have the little 3 3/4 inch articulation now.
That's true. But speaking of Legends, we come up to the next one, number 4 in the series of top 5, and that revolves around a very particular figure that caused a lot of angst amongst the community when it was first announced, and that is the Maximum series line, and this one in particular, Spider-Man. Um, I remember we talked about it at least on more than one episode once this was first announced, and then people were speculating on the pricing of it, and then the price did come out, and everyone was surprised for some reason, or shocked, or validating, or whatever. And then
Yeah.
people got this in their hands, and they're like, "It's not too bad, actually. It's worth the
Right.
$50."
but wait here, the
And
figure's great. The accessories are what sucks.
I think it was just
Mm,
that scary, poked out head. Um,
I like
but you know, go ahead.
the accessories. I was just expecting it to be, or thinking it should have been $40, but I paid for it, and then now it's not even a thought in my mind. And then I played with the Maximum Series Hulk, and the Hulk is so much more substantial than the Spider-Man. I was like, yeah, it probably should be $10 more.
Well, yeah, I like I said, I was borrowing a friend's copy of the Hulk, which he now says I don't want anymore. I'm like,
No,
why?
for real.
I don't get it. But yeah, but like for every high there was a low, and this one, the second release, really uh brought things back to like a weird level of understanding, because the main thing with this Hulk was a lot of it appeared to be what we have received before, where
Mhm.
Spider-Man was basically an all-new sculpt.
Yeah,
This one he has rubber boobies.
yeah,
But
that is
T, you just
confusing and
said
disappointing.
you had this in hand last weekend,
Hmm.
the rubber chest.
I would, again, if
Yeah,
someone handed me one and said, "Hey, Dave, do you want to buy this for $30 off of me?" I'd probably do it. But just, I mean, I've got
yeah, because I mean it's
every Hasbro. I pretty much have every Hasbro Hulk. From the MCU Build-A-Figures to the 80th anniversary. The one with the hinges that go too far to the back, which I'd love them to cut forward. But I mean, I like those Hulks. It's just when I look at that one, it's like he should be the same price as those Hulks. He's just
Hmm. Well, then, what if I said that with the Maximum line, what if we bring in Gamerverse and it totally blows Maximum out of the water?
yeah,
Would you?
it blew. You know what? Gamerverse did a lot of things that outdid a lot of things on Maximum. It made people excited. It made people say I'm ready to buy, and somehow, despite all that, still pissed off people even more than the Maximum series with that goddamn Target exclusive. Fuck you, Target.
I'm still pissed to the fact that not only was it a toy exclusive and it's Target, and we know how notoriously their pre-orders go, but then they changed the damn time on everyone like a day before it was supposed to be released. It's
Yes.
supposed to be 1
Oh
o'clock,
my
and then they
god.
turned it to 9 a.m. and you could buy two at a time. So of course, pre-orders gone in like 9 minutes for Psylocke and Thanos. And now we just, they're starting to come out here. And The
T, did you get
Amazing just
one?
put a video up for that 2-pack.
I had a question though. Has anybody found her in stores?
No.
So there's still a chance of that actually happening.
No.
Well, they have to show up in stores first.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to remember, they are doing a lot. Here's the
Which
biggest thing: they are doing a lot less production runs. They have been doing a lot less production runs for the last year. Again, this goes all the way back to the Walmart exclusive Venom. I never saw that in a store. I pre-ordered it. They lost mine in the mail. They could not find one to replace the one they lost in the mail. And then I never saw one in stores ever. Hasbro is trying to prevent the Roscon effect this by doing much less figures.
Yeah.
So
I
if it's
didn't
not
get
in that initial run, you're kind of fucked, to be honest.
I didn't get dial tone from Classified.
that hasn't been, yeah, that
And
hasn't
I
been
didn't get
out yet at
Breaker.
all. And I
I couldn't
don't
get.
understand.
I'm mad. I couldn't get
Nope.
Breaker. And
Breaker sold out
so,
faster, I
and
think, faster than this 2-pack.
I mean, we might get Psylocke again in her X-Force costume, but that's the Jim Lee Cyclops. That's the Jim Lee Psylocke I need for my Jim Lee team.
Well,
So, I mean,
I
I've
think up
got.
in our area here between you, go ahead.
I said I've got the Wolverine pack on order, the Wolverine Silver Samurai.
Mhm.
I've got the Juggernaut on pre-order. Without thinking, the Shumagora or whatever he's called now. He looks fantastic for $65. I'm not getting him because I don't have room on a shelf for him. But for those who want that figure, he looks absolutely fantastic.
Wrap them up, and then he'll take up less space.
Yeah, but I'm just the fact that I'm happy that they're doing that Venom is back in blue, but I still would prefer him in black. So that's why I passed on that one because I would sit there. It would almost annoy me more because he's just not right. Um,
Yeah.
and that War Machine pack, yeah, you forget that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think you really touched on the whole point of the story was with all the angst that came out of Maximum to the absolute excitement of seeing Gamerverse and how well those figures look for less. Hasbro just is confusing everyone, I think, in regards to what their marketing scheme is and their pricing. But again, it's a lot of figures people are happy to finally get, and it definitely fills out a lot of roster holes with some updated figures. So, moving on here, our next one, excuse me, was something that was exciting for my wife more than my excitement, and that is the fact that earlier this year we got a dragon uh, available for everyone. So
Giant
the
dragon.
Rise of Baratheer came up. Uh, this was I think it was 30 or 40 days that they went through. This is a monster figure to say the least. Let me get an actual picture of it up here. Do just because for those that don't remember for some reason, this thing is going to be huge. Um, Again, we're looking at different scales. Ogre scale, kind of what we talked about with a werewolf. That is uh, the demon that we're seeing here. Sorry, let me create this a little larger. Then we have a troll, a horse, and then a 1.0 and a 2.0 body. So this thing is going to be uh, a showpiece, to say the least. I'm still working with my wife on how we're going to display this figure overall. But what was really cool about this and what makes the Legions community different from a lot of other toy communities is in the last 2 or 3 hours of this campaign where they had already unlocked everything and there were some very prominent YouTubers going and doing their kind of like marathon marathon streams for this on the Just Shelve It group with Jesse Arnold and Curtis Ackerman. They actually started getting super chats because they were talking about donating or putting up one of these dragons as a giveaway, an all in. So that was the flame head that we see here, the regular figure as well as the expanded wings. And they raised enough money via super chats in the last bit to give away 5 dragons. And the base dragon for
Jesus.
this was $550. $550, and the add-on kits were $150 each. So you're talking like 800 bucks for this. They got super chats for 5. That I was watching that stream and I was freaking amazed that the amount of money. And again, you'll see in LegionsCon, Dave, and I've said it to my wife. I'm like, in the 2 days that convention goes, you will be shocked at the amount of money that exchanges hands. It's
Oh,
it's it's basically some people's main event.
I'm scared to see how much I should be bringing up there, to be honest. But that's a conversation for another time.
Well, if you're flying, yeah, if you're flying, you might want to phone a friend to have stuff shipped afterwards because whatever you pick up, and again, LegionsCon is not just for Mythic Legions. It's a huge customizing community. Valaverse is going to be there. Spiro Toys is there. Our friend Meta Travelers will hopefully have Wave One. We've only been waiting 3 years. Um, Plunderlings, you name it. There's a whole plethora. Our friends from Brutal Realm will hopefully have Wave One there. So prep your wallet, to say the least. um,
For me on
it's
this,
going to be a fun.
on his
It's going to be a
dragon,
fun time. It's going to be super fast.
like
What's that?
so for me on the dragon, I like the size of it and I like the idea of it, but for the price, like I expected or would have liked more articulation than it has. And then some of the basic things like you had to buy add-on kits for the price, the big price that it was. You had to get an add-on kit to get the secondary head and the outstretched wings and whatnot. Where with like if Hasbro was doing this, they either the wings would be articulated so you wouldn't have to get secondary wings, or it would be all inclusive in that the base price
Well,
that it was without the
you you you're basically looking at tiers is kind of what you're saying. Like they would do it where like if they had a certain amount of backers, then they would unlock the flame head for the same price of 550 and such.
yeah,
And
or like
I agree. That would
even if
be
even if they sold it as like one thing, I don't see them making you buy a whole upgrade kit to have it outstretch
yeah.
the arms or have. Does the base figure come with flame?
No,
No.
the flame comes with the
Yeah, like
alternate
that
head.
to be mandatory. It's a freaking dragon. That should have come with it mandatory.
But you are getting 4 figures with this as well, with each of the unlocks. Yeah, with each of the add-ons that was unlocked with different tiers, you get additional figures, including Sir Benegar for the main dragon, which was a big pool I think people wanted.
Yeah, that was
But
good that they added that
overall,
later.
it was yes, and they lowered the the tier level to get that figure unlocked. Anyway, this is funded. We'll see it here hopefully next year. Fingers crossed. But now we're getting up to our top two stories, and we're ending
Number
on a good
two.
high. I'm sorry, but I think we're going to be kind of going down a little bit here. But the second story for 2025 is layoffs and closures. Um, we saw most recently not this guy. That's a little weird, but we saw the most recent layoff of 150 employees from Hasbro, which is 3%, including uh, Marvel Legends marketing point of contact Ryan Ting. So this has just been one of those other ongoing things, especially in 23 we saw that huge series of layoffs from Hasbro, while some CEO got bonuses and whatnot. And
Yeah.
it's an unfortunate thing, and marketing or marketing and profit shares amongst these larger companies, it's a numbers game. It's not a people thing. And Hasbro in and of itself is always kind of like so weird in what they want to focus on. They make more money off of Magic and Monopoly Go than they do off of GI Joe, which is I think their second most popular. No, I'm sorry, it's the third because Nerf is even more popular than Transformers and GI Joe. It's just it's such a weird dichotomy of looking into how this company is structured.
Hmm.
But they're not the only company to lay off figures. And Dave kind of
People.
mentioned it earlier. Um, our friends at Super Seven unfortunately had to face a round of layoffs with their employee base as well. And this was in late spring. Yeah, Thor. This last series of layoffs of 150 people was last month. So,
And
but
Ryan
Super
Ting was
7
last week.
had to lay off.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, Super Seven's layoff was all based around tariffs. They even had their in-stock toys getting an extra surcharge and such. But you know, it's unfortunate, especially we have Hasbro that's here on the East Coast, and Super Seven is in California, and so it's different. A whole different world of stuff over there in regards to taxes and how things are being done. But it's an unfortunate side effect for the story and of this year, specifically
Thanks,
because we're going to hit
Obama.
our main story. Um, let me just get to it here before, and that is of course the T word: tariffs, 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 tariffs. Um,
Terrible.
After the election, it was talked about. We saw it hit the toy market hard, especially in April when tariffs moved up to 145% with China, and it's there's no good spin on this at all. I can't
Yeah.
fathom anything to positive to say about it, and I don't think anyone can follow up with it as well. But
So
we have
kids can
seen
only get one toy instead of 10. And meanwhile,
that's
American
right.
businesses are going out of business. It'll be better.
We see a lot of things with like you said, smaller stores just not able to get their stuff in. With Chris Galrich and D13 Toys, he got hit with a $25,000 tariff
Hmm.
fee for when Biblical Ventures Wave One hit the coast. Um, and then we got a bit of a reprieve here with a 90-day uh, lowering of the tariffs between the U.S. and China because they were going tit for tat in regards to going things up. But as this article shows, we're now going to start to see the effects of all of that. Here on the week, they say We're finally seeing the increase of costs is finally coming in from that tariff, and between that, it's not just the fact that we're getting toys in, it's also the cost of materials to create these toys have gone up. Um, and now they're saying, as of, playground, toys, games, and player equipment increased 2.2% from April to May of this year. Um,
Mm-mm-mm.
and ex- and it's definitely going to start affecting how we are going to see the later half of this year in regards to how toys are coming in. Not only the fact that some of our collection is with more import related figures, but this is really the mom and pop, the normies that are going to Targets and trying to find Barbies and Nerf and everything else for their kids. It's going to cost a lot more. And they say here toy inflation is here to stay. Unfortunately, I think that's an unfortunate truth. Things always go up. We very rarely see things go down and stay down. So,
Yeah, at the only thing goes down. They'll say we got to go up because of petroleum prices and gas, and then gas go down,
mhm.
and the price stays up.
So
And you got $5 little Debbie's.
yeah. So I mean, it's one of the it's a really sucky thing because I mean before when we had tariffs, toys were exempt. I know the Toy Association is still trying to fight to get toys exempt again. Um, I don't know if the
For
administration is
now,
going to
the
budge on it or
Titan.
not. It- yeah. Yes, Bobby Valla has said he's maintained prices, but even in his own videos, he always says it's a wait and see. If tariffs do go back
Yeah,
up this fall, uh, look, I don't care how much you're going to try to how much spin we got. Prices are going to continue to go up. We're going to see tariff surcharges increase like we have right now. Stuff's just going to be more expensive, and it could price out collectors. Just as simple.
I
Because
am
people are going to
close.
try to sell. You're going to see even your collection, your collection that you try to sell is going to go down in price because people aren't going to be able to pay. For me, like I sold a Fans Toys figure for say 100 and some dollars. I might not get that next time because
Mm.
we're getting reissues of everything, and I had to pay for groceries more than I do a toy. So I don't know. Dave, I've been talking and rambling. Give you a chance to close out on this story with your thoughts.
Well, I mean, it's like you're saying, it's either going to be. eh, This is going to sound weird, but I think the new toy market is going to be hit more. But all of a sudden, I think you've got some people who might be selling their collections. I think the vintage collecting might actually make another comeback for things that are not that can't be reissued. I'm talking about, I'm sitting here talking about, oh my gosh, Stormbreaker 2006, all these. Then I'm thinking also, I got a buckets full of Armada figures back there, Energon. That yes, Hasbro's done their reimaginings, but what about the original versions? Those things like that, people might start
Mhm.
collecting those again. When we were in our 30s, 20s, and 30s, we were tracking down a lot of those vintage G1 toys. Well,
Mhm.
these Armada figures are going to be somebody's vintage Armada figures that Armada Unicron, that things like that, where, okay, you can get the HasLab Unicron for $700, but the Armada Unicron that I bought for $60 back in 2005, I might be able to sell it for $200, and everybody's happy.
Hmm.
Yeah. And one element I didn't bring up, but I'd like to get your thoughts on it as we close out is with tariffs and prices going up, is it stifling new creativity? We talked about these
It's
Kickstarters that we're going through. What
In
if
a
they don't
way,
come? What if they don't get
yes, it
funded?
is. It absolutely is, because we were literally up until the tariffs were announced. We're getting a Kickstarter almost every month. We had,
Mhm.
we had people like Legendary Toys, Savage Crucible, um, Wandering Toys, God, what was the those graveyard, the cursed earth? No,
Oh, first dead. Yeah,
the cursed
the cursed
dead.
dead with.
Did you mention the astronaut zombie people?
Well, but you see, hold on. But you see, then the tariffs happened, and literally that astronaut one, I would not be surprised if that ended up being nails in their coffin for them. Um, these freedom force guys,
Patriot Force.
Patriot Force. It's not helping them. Let me put it that
Yeah.
way. I haven't
No.
checked yet. I know Loose Collector was putting a I know Loose Collector was putting a Kickstarter off for some Italian hero figure. I don't know if that's still up there. Is it stifling it? In a way, I think it is, because people are just hesitant because they don't know what it's going to take for them to make a campaign. They're sitting here planning things out, and all of a sudden they have to add another, 100% to their cost just for the product being brought here.
Yeah, and
You know,
then
if you
those
guys, again,
Kickstarters.
I'll say this: if you have not, the Hella Dope
Mm.
channel did a fantastic breakdown of what the tariffs are. Tariffs, again, if you have a factory overseas, that factory isn't charging you more money, but as soon as the product is landed, you, who is receiving the product, you are being charged. And
Mhm.
I'm okay. I promised I'm not trying to go political, but it's kind of ironic we talk about this on the 4th of July when everything was kickstarted over taxes. On on that I'm shutting up. That's as close as I'm going to
And
go.
and it's reality, and that's just the long and short of it. And I didn't even catch that ironic timing until you just said it, Dave. So that's a that's a way to close out on this topic. And on tonight's show, we ran a little long, and I apologize for that. But I think we had a lot of good conversation, and again, there's a lot of new stuff that we're coming out. Uh, we'll see what happens with San Diego Comic Con and whatnot. But gentlemen, what do you guys have coming up on your channels? Dave, I'll
Hmm.
start with you. What do you got going on? Yeah, you, this guy.
Oh, sorry. My latest thing, like I said, sorry, dude, your mic's phasing me out. Again, I literally just
Oh,
put
sorry.
up my Blowtorch review today, and that's looking more like Ghost Rider from Ghost Rider 2, explaining how he pees. But again, this review is up. Hopefully, those Praetorians will be showing up at my house soon, so those will be going up. Hasbro's shipping what Hasbro chooses to ship to me, so those will go up, and that's pretty much, yeah. Nothing new from 5K Toys,
Yeah,
and I'll tell you right now, I am hitting Big Bad Toy Store every day for those damn Storm Arena Street Fighter figures because I freaking want them.
excellent. And I can't wait to hear or see when you get your live stream going up for the Rattler. So,
Yes.
T, what about you, man?
Watch my video for this guy. Just put it up. And I have a bunch of shit. I didn't review this yet. Like I said, I didn't review this guy. Um, I'm still looking at this, and he's great, and I need to talk about him on film. But what else? I've never reviewed. Speaking of these guys, I haven't reviewed my Chun-Li yet or Ken. So I have them in this room. So at some point that's gonna happen. And
Well, we
yeah,
definitely look
whatever
forward
else
to
I get
those.
from you.
Okay. Well, for me, I got the haul video I need to finish up, as well as my Wave of Joes, going back to doing a little bit of a retrospective on them. It's been a while since I did that on any of my figures. But also, I want to say that I got a really cool topic coming up on my channel here. Hopefully, I'll be able to do the stream next week. But we're going to talk about Hasbro a little bit more, and if they're missing out on a really cool opportunity with some media, specifically the Skybound Comics Energon universe. It's not just going to be me talking, because obviously I do talk a lot, but we have a really cool panel. I'm going to have Extra Zero on as an alum, and possibly Deluxe Baldwin. And then we will have for the first time on the channel, it's Chad is going to come on and talk about his dollies and everything else. So I think it's going to be an interesting discussion, and hopefully I'll be able to get this up. I'm trying hopefully for Tuesday, but don't quote me on that. But if you click on my channel and
Wasn't there
subscribe,
one
hit the
more person?
notification, you'll know. What's that?
Wasn't there one
We
more
are.
person?
I'm hopefully going to have another person. I just don't want to mention it in case travel doesn't work out for that individual.
Yeah.
But I will have an updated list of the guests that are going to be on, hopefully here by the weekend. Okay. But that's everything for tonight's show. And again, I know we went a little touch long, but I think we had a lot of really good discussion. But
You're good. I'm still
anyway,
woke.
thank you guys for the chat. You're still awake?
Yeah.
Cool.
And please, everybody, have a very safe and happy 4th of July. Enjoy your beverage, enjoy your family, enjoy your barbecue, enjoy whatever you do on this lovely day. Remember what it was all about, what it was started on, what kept us, what we're founded on. And on that note, until next time, take care, everybody. Peace.
If it sounds like gunshots, check it. Stay with your instincts.